所以他才是一个运动天才，长得这么高这么重，但是你看他的身体的协调性有多好。
好了，现在呢这场比赛已经正式开始。刚才 Dwayne Howard 跟姚明的2个人互相跳球，最终呢我们看到东区的明星队呢，他们先掌握来进攻的权利。今天东区的明星队他们身穿的深蓝色的球衣，西区的球队身穿白色的球衣。我们看到 Dwayne 执行了第一投3分球的投进。
今年呢 Dwayne 确实他的整个的状态完全的提升回来了。从奥运会开始，我觉得他的整个的斗心啊，跟他的竞技状态已经是完全回来了。
Dwayne 呢第6年的生涯呢第5次入选了明星赛啊。他跟那 LeBron James 都是03年梯次的。Kobe Bryant 刚才也尝试一个3分球球不进的 ，LeBron James 快速推进之后，再到篮下，这球还是进了，漂亮。
LeBron James 现在真的突破进去是无人可挡，有速度有力量，而且技术也是更加的成熟了。
东区明星队开局的时候是5-0领先。Kobe Bryant 呢今天呢跟 LeBron James 的2个人呢也是在场上对决的一个焦点。Stoudemire 中距离40度角投篮不进 ，Dwayne Howard 抢到篮板。刚才的 Iverson 在 LeBron James 的身体前面啊。这球 Dwayne 在弧顶再度尝试3分球，球不进 ，Duncan 抢到篮板。
我其实今天呢也是个很大看点，就是 LeBron James 跟 Kobe Bryant 之间的这种对抗。
对。当然，今天呢我们看到在西区方面呢，灌溉云集啊。东区有4位选手是首度呢入选了明星赛。
我其实比赛的开局可以看到2队球员真的很认真的。场上的这种节奏也相当快，哇哦，
哇哦，漂亮
！Iverson. And yes, that is Allen Iverson with the new hairdo. The cornrows are gone, and Marv, you were the one that was in his room helping him cut that,
yes,
correct?
I was.
Okay.
Very helpful that way. And here's Duncan, Tim Duncan of the San Antonio Spurs, who after a slow start have come on. They are 35-16, the second best team in the Western Conference. Garnett, yes.
2 of the best mid-range shooting big men in the game. And you're going to see Tim Duncan shoot a lot of jump shots. That's what Greg Popovich has had been doing this season. Does not want to get him beat up down on that low post, so taking a lot more jump shots this year.
Duncan. And slapped out of bounds. Last touch by Howard of the East.
Hey, Coach, the East looks much more relaxed as Allen Iverson in the open court gets into the lane. Nice little ball fake and finish. But remember the practice yesterday? The East was very relaxed. The West was a little bit more structured. The West looks a little bit tense right now.
Eastern squad trying to set Guinness Book of Records standards, of which apparently Devin Harris of the Nets was able to go from end to end with the basketball in 3.9 seconds. And we asked the question, was he trying to break anyone's record? And the answer was no. He was setting a record.
That was called being set up by some veteran teammates.
Bryant with a series of fakes and then the soft touch.
Well, Kobe Bryant last year, remember, only played about 3 minutes in this game. He had injured a finger right before the All-Star game, and I think Phil Jackson would like to keep his minutes down today as well.
Here's Wade going behind the back. Oh, and it's put down by Dwight Howard.
Well, he leads the NBA in dunks on the year, 127 already this season.
Nice crossover by Paul. Yao Ming coming up short. Kept alive by Bryant. Garnett with the rebound.
The East can run.
Wade went 1-on-2. And it's handled by Duncan. Bryant to the pull-up for 3. And the rebound snatched by James. A little hop-step move here by LeBron, going right at Stoudemire. Was that the crab dribble that we just saw?
Remember when Magic used to do that? As soon as he got the rebound, he would do that like high dribble, skip down the floor.
Oh, and Paul rejected after a nice move. Foul is called. First foul of the night.
Well, Dwight Howard, we saw him last year as Superman. He was dethroned last night with a little kryptonite by Nate Robinson. But how about Dwight Howard in this block? And Marv, just to put that little block in perspective there, we talked about in our open, but he leads the NBA in blocks at almost 3 a game. He leads in rebounding, and if he leads in those 2 stats, he'll be only the 5th player in NBA history to lead in both rebounds and blocks in the same season. And as I said in the open, I think if I had to vote right now, he would be my defensive player of the year.
However, last night, Superman, defending his slam dunk championship in another spectacular competition, lost his crown to the high-flying Nate Robinson of the Knicks.
And how about that? He acted as a prop in his own defeat.
Not quite sure he was trying to pass the torch to little Nate.
Oh, Wade uncontested. The East with a 13-6 lead. They've hit 6 of their first 10 from the field. The West just 2 of 9. Duncan over Iverson, and the tip missed by Stoudemire. Look out. Oh, James whipping by Paul, has just wisely stepped away. And here's LeBron setting his feet for 3.
This guy's become such a great basketball player, Marv. He's shooting the ball better. His footwork, his release is more consistent on a nightly basis. His attention to detail has grown through the years, and he is a brilliant basketball player.
Power move by Stoudemire, then try to find Yao. The save by Iverson, but did not carry him out of bounds. Paul is on it. Here's Bryant from Paul.
Chris Paul doing a good job. Saw the loose ball, picks it up, finds Kobe Bryant streaking down the lane for the easy dunk.
Reach-in is called on Paul.
Look at Chris Paul here with the steal. Voids LeBron James going down the lane with the finish. Another former slam dunk champion in Kobe Bryant.
Very early in his NBA career. How about LeBron saying that he's thinking of entering slam dunk next season? Nice pass from Iverson. Howard was blocked by Duncan. And again, Duncan got a piece of it. East will maintain possession. That was last touched by Duncan.
Well, the growth in Dwight Howard's game, we know he's a power player, a dunker around that lane. His game, the next expansion is going to be when he can step out and make that little 10-foot jump shot. And when he does that, he's going to be unguardable.
James coming short on a catch and shoot. A shot by Garnett.
Always amazed by how his shot has improved. When he came in as a young player out of high school, his shot was a line drive. And he lifts that ball so beautifully tonight. He's really worked so hard on getting great trajectory on that shot.
Paul stripped. Good play by Iverson. Recovered by Garnett. Wade spinning for Garnett. Back it goes. Beautifully done. LeBron James from Kevin Garnett.
That's 3 excellent passing all-stars right there.
And Kobe Bryant right back. We're actually seeing, the steal by Bryant, we're actually seeing some defensive play here at the start, which we're not customary to witnessing at an all-star game in the...
Now, this is the lightest shoe. As you notice, it's also a low cut. And Kobe says it allows him to cut on a dime, sort of the basket, give him stability and flexibility. He'll also be sporting something new tonight, too. He is one of 6 players from this summer's Olympic team to receive special Olympic championship rings. That ceremony will be at halftime. The others, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Dwight Howard, Chris Paul, and Chris Bosh. Back to you, Mark.
All right, guys. Several substitutions at both ends. Blocked shot. Once again, it is Dwight Howard, Paul Pierce of the Celtics, Joe Johnson of the Hawks, Devin Harris of the Nets have come on for the East. Shaquille O'Neal of the Suns and Dirk Nowitzki of the Mavs on the floor. So we have Kobe and Shaq playing together for the first time since their days as a Laker. The runner by Paul, rebounded by O'Neal. Here is Shaq, and he tips it home. Those of you who were with us for the pregame introductions with Shaq performing during the intros, I thought I was watching an updated version of Dick Clark's American Bandstand.
He was pretty good with the Jabberwockies? Very nice. I think best dance crew winners first season. I know you watch that, Manu.
I do on a regular basis. Pierce off the mark. Bryant with the rebound. Puts it between the legs. Being played by Johnson. Spinning his way. Bryant with lots of time for 3.
Now, Kobe Bryant has come out firing in this game. What is that, his 10th shot or his 9th shot here early in this game? So
he's hit 4 of 9 here at the start. Oh, Paul eludes James. Here's the lob. Stoudemire puts it down.
Nice fake in the open court. He thought LeBron James bit on it, was going to get this steal. kept his dribble down and found Amari Stoudemire.
Johnson trying to put a move on, lost the handle. Paul, who leads the NBA in steals with several spins to make his move, went behind the back. O'Neal lost it. Try to get a little too tricky.
Yeah, he looked up and he saw Dwight Howard. He was going to try to put himself in a position, just power through him and took his eyes off the ball. But you see Chris Paul go out of the game, Marv. You know, so much expectation on this New Orleans Hornets team this year, and I see a smile on his face. I bet it's been a while since he's enjoyed playing. New Orleans has had a down year. Tyson Chandler's been hurt. Peja Stojakovic having a down year, and I'm sure this is a special day for Chris Paul to finally have a little fun.
And Paul sidelined by injury recently. Here's Harris, ball slapped away. Good play by O'Neal. This is Brandon Roy of the Trailblazers. He just checked in. Bryant to the rim.
We were speaking with Phil Jackson before the game. He said Kobe would probably play the first 8 or 9 minutes of the first quarter, and then he'd go after that. Kobe trying to make a statement early.
Rashard Lewis of the Magic, who just came on, not able to hit. The West with an 11-0 run. They are within 1. Chauncey Billups of the Denver Nuggets, what a year he has had, has come on, sets it up for Shaquille O'Neal.
Well, Shaq said that he feels good. All season long he's talked about, you know, he's setting out some games, some back-to-backs, but he's throwing some big numbers for the Phoenix Suns this year.
Here comes Billups. What a difference he has made in the turnaround of the Nuggets. Billups coming over in that deal for Allen Iverson. Nowitzki, played by Pierce, and a foul, holding foul on Lewis.
So that's a tough matchup for Rashard Lewis guarding Shaquille O'Neal down in the low post. Probably a good foul to take there, but that's one of the things the East is going to suffer with. Really not many big men, and the West roster is loaded with big guys.
So it's not going to be as stringent calls when it comes to traveling.
Marv, I've actually seen Reggie be inside the three-point line and take 2 steps back and shoot a 3, and it was fine. It was all good stuff.
Are you saying an all-star play or regular season play?
Well, a little of both, I mean, but mostly all-star, yes.
All right, here's Tony Parker of the San Antonio Spurs coming on for the first time. Ray Allen checks in for the East. Nice play, and Parker with the bucket. How about Kobe Bryant, who just took a seat? Kobe 5 for 10 from the field, 11 points, and 10 shot attempts for a quarter, just 2 off the all-time NBA All-Star record, which is held by Bill Sharman, who did it back in 1960. Bill, a member of the Boston Celtics, pretty set up for Shaquille O'Neal from Brandon Roy. Bill Sharman, who also played baseball in the Brooklyn Dodger system. And here is Pierce kicking it out. Johnson. And a look-away outlet from O'Neal to Parker.
Shaq loves to show that he can pass. In the post, you've seen a look-away drop-off for a layup to Tony Parker. That time, the long outlet pass. And here's Rashard Lewis, the guy that leads the NBA in both makes and attempts from behind that three-point line.
And that stopped a 19-0 run by the West. 19 consecutive. Billups from downtown, missed a big shot. Hits the long 3. It's further to 23. West. Good hustle as that ball is deflected out.
I like how Shaq is being aggressive at both ends of the floor. Right here, gets the rebound. A no-look outlet. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that, but again.
I have. I played against it. Wes Unseld was the best.
Billups passing on a 3, and a nice lead for Tony Parker.
How about the year Tony Parker's having? Before he sprained his ankle, had a 55-point game in Minnesota that was his career high. Was off to a blazing start and then got hurt, but has come back very strong.
Tony averaging 20 a game along with 6 assists. That's Rashard Lewis. Rashard Lewis of the Magic. Orlando at 38-13, third best record in the Eastern Conference. Final minute, first quarter, and the West up by 7.
West really playing through Shaquille O'Neal.
Off the steal, Pierce has a 3-on-2. Harris gives it up. Allen wide open. Kept alive. Pierce not able to score, but a foul. Be part of NBA All-Star 2009 with your friends on Facebook. Choose your view and chat live on Facebook. Only at TNT Overtime on NBA.com. And that foul on Chauncey Billups, putting Paul Pierce at the free throw line. 85% shooter.
The last time we had Paul Pierce, the brilliant fourth quarter in Dallas, the 18 points. He had 31 in that game. Shaquille O'Neal having a seat right now as Pau Gasol comes into the game. But Paul Pierce and the Boston Celtics, what a display of what I thought championship poise the other night, and just heart in that game against Dallas on TNT. Down 15, looked like going nowhere, and came back to win that game for their 8th straight road win.
And the Celtics have won 8 of the last 10. They're now 44-11. Gasol with the reverse stuff.
Check right in, and they run a play for you.
Harris, that was a 3-point attempt, rebounded by Gasol.
Sure, the West will play for one shot.
West with a 7-point lead, coming up on 10 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Gasol posting up on Lewis. Johnson over to help. Final seconds. Here is Powell with a sweeping hook. And Pierce fires from the backcourt to end this first.
Name.
You are so on it.
Chris Tucker right next to him.
You want to go around the arena and check others here?
Hey, the biggest person is to our left, and that's Muhammad Ali.
That's
I
correct.
don't care about anyone else in here.
Muhammad taking it all in, a couple of seats away from us. Second quarter gets underway. Ray Allen has a 3-on-2, kicks it back for a 3-point attempt that is blocked. Joe Johnson blocked by Pau Gasol. Parker with the dish. Nowitzki from Parker.
Textbook fast break. Get the ball in the middle, stop at the free throw line, and execute it and give it to one of your wing players.
The West with a 36-27 lead at one stretch. They reeled off 19 unanswered points.
Big part of that was Shaquille O'Neal, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists while he was in the game.
Pierce backing his way. Allen is open. Just did beat the shot clock buzzer. Roy surprised by that pass, able to recover. Brandon Roy of the Portland Trailblazers playing his second All-Star game. Devin Harris showing us that dazzling speed.
That's speed versus speed. Tony Parker and Devin Harris. I'd love to see a foot race between those two guys. They're probably faster with the ball, though, than they are without it.
So what you're trying to say, that Tony should have been gone after the Guinness Book of World Records?
I don't think Tony's going to get suckered into that.
Here's Pierce protecting the ball, and he got the roll. Marv Albert, Doug Collins, Reggie Miller, Craig Sager, David Aldridge working the sidelines. We are in Phoenix, Arizona, the West with a 9-point lead. Nowitzki, yes.
They create such great space with that fading jump shot. He gets it behind his head, and posting more this year over the last few games with the Rick Carlisle.
Well, this is like our game on Thursday. Paul Pierce versus Dirk Nowitzki, kind of going at it in that fourth quarter.
And Nowitzki got the step block from behind by Pierce, and a foul. Got the hand. Let's check in with Craig Sager. Craig.
Well, Marv, Doug mentioned you want to see that foot race between Devin Harris and Tony Parker. Devin Harris actually did go baseline to baseline with a basketball yesterday at the practice. Set a Guinness World Record of 3.93 seconds. Then for the West, Tony Parker was chosen to challenge that record. However, he got a late phone call from his coach, Greg Popovich, and said, I advise you not to take part in that. So Tony decided to give Devin Harris the world record.
Vetoed from afar. Wow. Popovich has some pull.
Well, Doug mentioned as we were watching that he wondered what the reaction of Nets coach
Lawrence. Yeah.
The West up by 11. We're 2 minutes in. Second quarter. Gasol jumping out at Pierce. And Pierce able to go baseline, and he is fouled.
Such a tough matchup. Somebody, either Pau Gasol or Dirk Nowitzki, has got to guard a small player. Now you look out there, it's Rashard Lewis And basically, Paul Pierce are your power players. You got Danny Granger, Ray Allen, and Mo Williams. So this is what Mike Brown had talked about with his lack of big guys. And I think Phil Jackson, the thing for him is a lot of his big guys don't want to play a lot of minutes today, which is probably good for Phil in terms of trying to find time.
Foul committed by Gasol. You can vote for the game that you want to see on NBA TV. Special fan night voting extends through tonight's All-Star game, and results will be announced on a special episode of Inside the NBA on NBA TV following the NBA All-Star game. A couple of other reminders. Wednesday on ESPN, it is Orlando at New Orleans, followed by the Lakers, Golden State. And then next Sunday on ABC, Boston right here at Phoenix. Coverage starts 2 o'clock Eastern Time. The West up by 9. This is Mo Williams of the Cleveland Cavaliers, who just came on, rebounded by Brandon Roy. David West of the Hornets has checked in for the Western squad. Phillips way off. Gasol getting inside.
And that's going to be the West problem, is because they are so small. If you're Pau Gasol, you've got to bang on the offensive glass.
Lewis off the fake. Pierce for 3. Oh, that is a very nice rim to be shooting at.
Nice touch.
I do not speak out of experience.
Soft rims.
Ball slapped away, but it's recovered by Billups. His pass picked off. Here comes Danny Granger of the Pacers. 3-on-1. Nice pass from Williams to set it up for Allen.
Great to see Mo Williams in this game after playing so brilliantly in the first part of the season for Cleveland.
Mo, a late substitute because of the injury suffered by Chris Bosh, sidelined by that sprained right knee. And Pierce is fouled by West. How about Mo Williams the day after he received word that, yes, he had made the...
Well, Marv, you take a look at Reggie was talking about the size factor, the East versus the West. The East has taken 14 threes in this game as Paul Pierce steps to the line and look for his 12th point of the game. The West has taken only 4. The difference is the West has 32 points in the paint to 18, so you can see the difference. The West going inside with their size and attacking, and the East spreading the floor and launching threes.
And Paul Pierce with 12 points within 5 minutes. West up 46-41. 4 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Billups for 3. Mo Williams with the rebound. Looked like he was going to peg it down court. Here comes Pierce. Takes to the rim and hits on the reverse.
Yeah, Paul Pierce played great basketball. He started out slow this year, but month by month his numbers are going up, and right now is in a good groove here off this bench.
Paul Pierce averaging 19 points during the regular season, along with 6 rebounds. The East with 8 unanswered. West over Lewis. And rebounded by Lewis.
Well, as small as the East is, they're doing a good job on the boards, making sure there's only one shot.
Allen for 3. He's been off. Rebounded by West. West with Gasol and Roy up front. Parker and Billups are at the guards. Billups lost it. Here's Granger. Parker just says, you take it.
Reggie, you got to be happy. This young guy from the Indiana Pacers with what he's doing, not only with his play, but just the character and dignity he plays this game with. You got to be very proud being a former Pacer.
Well, I am. You know, he plays hard. He plays hurt. Right now, he has banged up knees, and you know, he said there was no way he was going to miss the opportunity to play in this game. And you know, when the Pacers drafted him, first of all, it was a steal. He was supposed to go in the lottery. He fell down to the 17th pick. The Pacers picked him up, and last year averaged 18, 19 points. Now almost 26. In line for most improved.
Danny Granger in his 4th season out of New Mexico. Pierce's pass picked off by Parker. Billups finding Gasol, and he is fouled. Lewis coming over and making contact. That's his 2nd. And now wholesale substitutions being made. Kobe Bryant will return along with Amari Stoudemire and Chris Paul. Dwayne Wade and Kevin Garnett will check back in. Pau Gasol in his second All-Star appearance. Rookie of the Year as a member of the Memphis Grizzlies, acquired in that steal by the Lakers last season.
Well, look at the numbers, 63 and 15 when he plays for the Lakers, and very impressive for the Los Angeles Lakers. We saw them in Boston right before the All-Star break, and they go in there and beat Boston, break their 12-game winning streak. It broke their 19-game winning streak at Christmas. They go in and beat Cleveland, break their 23-game home winning streak. That's all without Andrew Bynum.
Dwayne Wade, who just came back on, able to knock down that corner shot. The West up 48-47. Once again, Gasol gets inside, and a late whistle fouled a push on Garnett.
So it's just been a while, 48-47, especially with 6 minutes left in the second quarter, that I've seen an NBA All-Star game played with this kind of defense.
Well, it's a nice rhythm. That's what I like. Guys are making the simple play, and you can see what the West is doing. They're coming down. They're running that little middle pick and roll, rolling down the lane, and we've seen Gasol catch that ball to finish. When Shaquille O'Neal was in the game, he had 3 powerful finishes. So, you know, Phil Jackson's always been a guy that likes those big guys inside, and he's taking advantage of his height here in this first half.
Phil Jackson, this the 4th appearance as an All-Star head coach. Phil has coached 9 NBA championship teams, 6 with Michael Jordan, Scottie, Pippen and the Bulls, 3 with the Lakers of Kobe and Shaq. Mo Williams for 3. Granger kept it alive, but ends up in the hands of West. 2-on-1. Gasol from his teammate Bryant.
Runs the floor so nicely for a big man, and you know they call that a post lane sprint, Mark. You run right to the front of the rim, and if you don't do it, you turn and seal, look for a quick post up.
Williams. That's a 3-pointer for the Cleveland Cavalier. Mo Williams averaging 17 points and shooting very well, 46% for the season. Brandon Roy right back.
One of my favorite players, Marv. I think you guys had him early in the year when he had his 52-point game against Phoenix. I think you also had him when he had the game against Houston, where it looked like he committed the foul on Yao Ming.
It was fun. It was fun just to see him smile. You know, it was a dream come true for him. And, you know, I took him on the bus, and just to see his eyes when Kobe walked on the bus, and he was stunned. He was in heaven. So it was great to see. And I took him in the locker room, introduced him to everybody. He got everybody's autograph, and he just wrote me a little letter before the game. He gave me a little letter, and he was so excited. So it was great all around.
What do you say in the letter?
Just how great I was to introduce him to everybody, and it was a dream come true for him, and he'll be a Mavericks fan for life.
Well, thanks a lot. Great job this weekend. And I'm sorry, but Phil Jackson says you're supposed to go in.
Yeah, I'm coming.
All right, back to you, Mark.
All right, Craig, thanks. So Dirk Nowitzki will check in just a moment. The West with a 54-51 lead.
You know, Marv, who else is very big with the Make-A-Wish Foundation is Michael Jordan. And they had a big article on here in the Phoenix paper that he was out here just recently, he and Chris Paul, and just putting smiles on these young people's faces, which is such a wonderful thing to do.
Paul looking for the opening, then gets it to Roy. Pulling it back on Granger. Rebounded by West. West getting position on Wade. David West of the New Orleans Hornets. And the East right back. Mo Williams showing his speed.
Chris Paul gambling in the backcourt. You gamble and don't get it. You put your defense at odds.
Paul's pass intended for his Hornet teammate West. Back comes Williams. Behind the back. And they reset. Williams, that's a 2-pointer, had a foot on the line.
Well, that's where they can attack the West. If they can get some steals and get in the open court, they have that speed and the ability to really stretch that floor.
Well, Williams has hit 3 of 5. He has 8 points. Bryant for 3. Rebounded by Stoudemire. Amari Stoudemire. And the question with Amari, could he be playing his final game as a member of the Phoenix Suns here in Phoenix? What with all the trade rumors, and Kevin Garnett on the finish.
Could very well happen here, Marv, as a retaliation by Kobe Bryant. Blink of an eye and they score once again, but Marv, it could very well happen. Trade deadline is the 19th, and Steve Kerr is fielding a lot of different calls at this point in time.
29 to be exact.
Bryant not able to put it down. This is a 2-on-1 developing. The West does hustle back. Williams came up short, rebounded by Paul. Paul going behind the back and finds the trail of Brandon Roy. That leads to a timeout. And the other question, who will be the head coach of the Phoenix Suns? There are rumors that Terry Porter is in trouble. I know assistant Alvin Gentry has been mentioned.
Yeah, it's tough, Marv. It's this coaching business right now so volatile, and the team not doing well. A lot of speculation what's going
on. Bill throughout the weekend. Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen, Paul Pierce making the presentation. Bill will have to wait to eat the cake after the game.
Well, what a great honor. Get that trophy named after the greatest winner in this league. And what did he do when he gets to the podium? Yes, he was emotional, but wanted to thank his team. Always a team player, Miles.
And as Wade tries that little flip shot, draws the foul. Dwayne will go to the line. Foul is on Tim Duncan. Let's check in with David Aldridge.
We're here with Chris. We're here with Chris Bosh from the Toronto Raptors, injured, not playing today, but selected by the coaches to your All-Star team. Your thoughts being here this weekend?
Oh, man, you know, it's always an honor to be an All-Star. It's always great to be here and hang out with these guys. You know, we've been laughing and just hanging out all weekend.
You had Muhammad Ali in the locker room before the game. What was that feeling like?
Oh, man, he's the greatest. You know, that's one of the best, biggest sports icons of all time. And just to get to shake his hand and look into his eyes, it was very moving. I mean, he's been through a lot.
You got a new player coming into Toronto. Made the trade the other day, bringing Sean Marion in. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think Sean's really going to help us. Everybody knows we're struggling a little bit. We need some more wins, and we're trying to make a push for the playoffs. So, you know, I'm hoping he's going to come in and give us some help. You know, I hate to see JL go, but it's a part of the business, and you know, I guess we'll kick it in the summer.
Chris, thanks very much. Get healthy as soon as you can.
Appreciate it.
All right, Mark, back to you.
All right, David. Dwight Howard with the bucket. So the West now leads at 64-62. So Jermaine O'Neal, now a member of the Miami Heat. Stoudemire off the mark, rebounded by Howard. And Sean Marion is a Raptor.
I spoke with Jermaine right after the trade, and he was disappointed in leaving Toronto, but excited to get down to South Beach and have a chance to play with the Flash himself, that man right there, Dwayne Wade.
The major question with Jermaine O'Neal, all the injuries that he has been hit with. Amari Stoudemire is able to put it down. 8 points for Stoudemire.
Well, if he can stay healthy, he gives the Heat something that they haven't had since Shaquille was new. You know, someone's going to block shots, intimidate in the lane, and he's a pick and pop player. When you run that pick and roll with Dwayne Wade, you're going to get a lot of looks.
LeBron James from downtown. That's 10 points for LeBron. Here's Paul kicking it out. Bryant. This time Garnett closing on Bryant, not allowing the three. Paul with a post up.
Posting up Allen Iverson.
We're approaching a minute remaining in this first half. The steal by Bryant. 2-on-1. He has Stoudemire. It's kind of a slow motion 2-on-1 fast break. Howard is called for the foul.
Kobe letting the play develop.
Second on Dwight Howard. There is Muhammad.
Met him on a few occasions, and you know, just to be in his presence, yes. Coach, I mean, it's mind-blowing. It's you know, you start thinking of everything that he has gone through, and you know, he still puts on a brave face.
You know, Marv, I had a chance when I was playing for the Sixers as a young player. He lived in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and we were at a dinner together, and I sat next to him for about 4 hours. And all he did was draw pictures of Joe Frazier and just was talking the whole time. And I actually got an autograph. I said, would you sign this for my son, Chris, who was like 2 years old at the time, 3. I went to Chris's house recently, and we had it framed up in his room. It was pretty neat.
I had a different experience with Muhammad back in my boxing days at NBC. As Dwight Howard is fouled, he will head to the line. We actually visited his home to do a feature. And all he wanted to do, you know, he sees himself as an amateur magician.
Yes.
He kept saying, I can do levitation. And he was claiming he was doing it. I've yet to see it done. I don't know what was going through his mind. One of our staff members said, okay, I'm levitating. Never saw it. But he was a great host, and we really had a terrific time. A great sense of humor.
When people talk about true greatness, it's Muhammad Ali. True greatness.
West with a 68-67 lead. Final minute, first half. Nice play. Duncan on the hop for one. And the ball back to the West. Well, I was wrong about Bill Russell. No hesitation about getting to that cake.
When you got 11 rings, you can do whatever you want to do, Marv. You want some cake, he's going to eat some cake.
You know, I was thinking about, too, he was a player coach. You know, but I would coach if I could play like him, too. You'd be a player coach.
Pretty play. Nice reverse by Paul. Yes, Red Auerbach putting the team in his hands.
Yes. Be nice to be able to coach and be the best player at the same time.
Can you imagine these days being a player coach?
No.
Cannot happen.
I think a lot of players think they're doing that, but it's
some are.
Final seconds, first half. Usually teams did it to save money.
Yes, right.
Back in the 50s. And here is Paul. So that's the end of the first half. The West with a 72-67 lead. The West squad shooting 56% from the field. The high record in the East behind Boston, and has been a defensive geared coach. Even though this is an all-star game, you see 72 points up on the board at halftime. That does not feel good. West ball as we get underway in the third quarter. Yao Ming on that hook coming up short. And back comes Iverson. Iverson challenging Yao, and the ball back to the West.
Well, when you got a 6'1" guy challenging a 7'3" guy, kind of throw it over the backboard extension, I guess the 7'3" guy wins.
And the West opens up with Chris Paul and Kobe Bryant in the backcourt. Tim Duncan, Yao Ming, and Amari Stoudemire up front. This is the starting lineup. Phil Jackson going back to it. Here is Yao. And that is his first field goal.
Well, Phil Jackson told us before the game that Yao Ming really only wanted to play about the first 6 minutes of the game and the first 6 minutes of the third quarter. You see, they're going to him early, I think, maybe to get some production, and then he's probably going to be through here rather quickly.
LeBron James, yes, and the foul. And notice the guys stepping out of the way. You do not want to get hit by LeBron.
Well, you don't want to get hit, but you also don't want to get dunked on. Right here, nice body and air control. Gets up in the air, switches hand, a la Michael Jordan.
That reminds me of the NBA Finals, the Game 2, Lakers and the Bulls, and the call by Marvelous, a spectacular move by Jordan.
Commercial.
Thank you very much.
Marv
yes.
Albert.
Stoudemire was called on that foul on LeBron, and then Amari getting a piece of the glass.
Well, that's what you're seeing a lot from him this year, the pick and pop game, and he's been a little bit turnover prone and shot happy from that perimeter, and I think that's one of the things that has disappointed these Phoenix fans this year, is him not playing in the paint as much.
LeBron lost it on the deflection, and Paul able to finish. The West with a 78-70 lead. Just getting underway here in the third. Garnett, the big ticket in his 12th All-Star game, now has 10 points. Bryant being played tightly by Wade. Bryant able to recover and scores. But as we mentioned earlier, you see players defending, which you don't often see in all-star competition.
Well, it was a high-scoring first half, but it was competitive. It wasn't like guys were running down and just dunking. I mean, guys were making shots, guys were making an attempt, and that's what made this very much a fun game to watch today.
Not exactly intensive defensive play, but at least there you see another block shot as Yao was stopped by Howard.
You gotta understand, these are the same guys that won a gold medal as Dwayne Wayne pulls up for three. They won a gold medal over in Beijing, so there's a lot of familiarity with each other, and defense was their staple.
All right, here's Stoudemire, got the step. Amari Stoudemire, averaging 21 a game for the Suns. And as we touched on earlier, the subject of much trade speculation. Iverson. The box out by Stoudemire. Ball played by Iverson. Duncan being guarded by James. And here is Duncan, rejected, but that's a goaltend. Dwight Howard looking for the block, and the basket will count.
This is the Amari Stoudemire the people here in Phoenix love. The guy who drives that ball to the basket with the spectacular finishes. But, you know, in fairness to him, with Shaquille O'Neal in that post, there's not nearly as much space down there. The Suns are not nearly as good a three-point shooting team, so that lane has collapsed this year on them, unlike in the past with Mike D'Antoni with all those three-point shooters, and that lane was wide open.
LeBron being played by Stoudemire. Garnett set the pick. Howard adjusting for the bucket, and he was fouled.
You see the look on Yao Ming's face. I mean, this game is so fast for him. I thought it was interesting. He was talking about the game, and he said, you know what? This game is just too fast for me. I feel like I'm doing a running test out there. And so you could see that they're just not quick enough to get over and move his feet. And in fairness to him, this is a guy who's put a lot of miles on that body. He had the broken foot last year, missed time, did play for the China team over in Beijing, which was a spectacular day to watch him play. There's a steal here by Wade.
Wade with the wide open shot, try to go glass, rebounded by Yao, and he is fouled by Garnett.
But Yao Ming, you know, as big as he is, you have to be so careful about those stress fractures. He's had all kinds of problems with his feet, and Houston being very, very careful with him today, talking to Phil Jackson about please limiting his minutes.
Yes, he's been injury prone the last 3 years, and that major injury, stress fracture in his left foot. Nice touch by Paul, and the concern with Yao has to be, can his feet support a 7'6", 310-pound player throughout an 82-game season?
Well, remember, Zydrunas Ilgauskas went through about a 4-year period almost with the same kind of injury, and was almost missed 4 full seasons.
James with a long three-point attempt. The West in possession. They lead by 12. Bryant for 3.
I like the way he stared down Dwight Howard right there. Gave him a little ball fake, freeze him a little bit, and just rise up.
Wade with the open 3. It's a 3-on-2 for the West. Paul goes all the way. Very close to a travel. Looked like he was going to give it up to Bryant on the wing.
Well, you can see what's interesting about this Western team's defense. I mean, they're just packing the paint. You have all these slashers and cutters and just defending at the basket, not shooting a good percentage from 3. But Kobe Bryant, sort of looking at his teammate Dwight Howard. They got the beautiful championship rings at halftime, and saying, you're out of your vicinity out here behind this three-point line. Get back in the paint.
Foul on Howard is 3rd. Don't miss all new episodes of TNT's hit series Leverage, Tuesdays at 10, 9 Central, only on TNT. Amari Stoudemire, an 83% free throw shooter. First player to go straight from high school for the NBA to be named Rookie of the Year. Now LeBron James and Dwight Howard followed up on that.
He's going to have to start making some shots, especially from three-point range. They don't have the size, they have the speed, but they got to make some outside shots.
Biggest lead of the night for the West. Strong move by Wade to get inside. He has 11. Paul using the pick. Iverson able to stay with him. Stoudemire trying to split his way through, and the ball's deflected away. 10 on the shot clock. The West in possession. The East has won 3 of the last 4 in All-Star play. They won last year in New Orleans. LeBron James taking MVP honors, and the ball back to the East. For LeBron, his second All-Star Most Valuable Player award, won it in Houston back in 2006. James looking to set things up, now being played on a switch by Yao. I think LeBron liked that matchup and then forced to give it up. Yao stays with him.
Well, Yao moving his feet.
Garnett from James.
Well, you had 5 defensive players from the West all back in the paint right there. There was no place for LeBron to go, and Kobe is feeling it from behind that three-point line. There's that soft rim that Marv spoke about in the first half. We saw that with Paul Pierce earlier, this time by Kobe Bryant.
21 points for Bryant. That was his 3rd from three-point land. Oh, James with the reverse. LeBron James going glass. 93-80, West on top. We're halfway through the 3rd quarter. Bryant with a long three-point attempt. Yao going for the steal and a foul as he and Howard come together. Foul is on Yao Ming.
Pardon that, Paul Pierce of the Celtics. What was that like to build some homes for some people who really needed it?
It was great. You know, that's something that the NBA implemented during All-Star Weekend, where we can lend a helping hand when we get in, and you can see it in the kids' faces. They really enjoy us coming out there, helping out, and doing the things we can do in the community.
So how surprised were they when they saw you guys coming out with hammers and shovels and they're sitting there getting ready to do some work?
Hey, we do work too. You know, it's not all about basketball. It's about giving back, and that's what we try to do to the community and showing how the NBA cares.
It's been a lot of years for All-Star games for you. How are you enjoying this one with your 2 Celtics teammates?
I'm enjoying it more than ever because, you know, it is my 7th All-Star game, but I always treat it like it's my first. And to be able to share it with 2 guys that's on my team, it's an honor.
Paul, thanks very much. Great first half. Maybe see you back out there.
All right, baby.
All right, back to you, Marv.
All right, thank you, David. Last season's MVP of the NBA Finals, averaging 22 a game against the Lakers, Paul Pierce. And that's a three-pointer for Mo Williams, who now has 10. The West up by 10, just under 5 to go in this 3rd quarter. Bryant with the step and hits on the reverse.
Now, Kobe came out early in this game with that big first quarter, and he just kept it up the entire way. This is a skip pass from Mo Williams that went off the fingertips of LeBron James.
Shaquille O'Neal back on the floor for the West. Paul lost the handle, was deflected. Out of bounds. Danny Granger, Ray Allen have checked back in for the East.
A little hesitation move there by Kobe. Takes the ball to the other side of the rim to get away from the shot blocker and finishes nicely.
Shaq being played by Howard.
Clear him out there, Shaq.
Well, he throws it back the other way. Wisely. Paul knocks it down and assists for Shaq.
Thought he was going to cross over Dwight Howard right there. Allen Iverson style.
Shaq creating for Chris Paul on that play.
Williams for Howard. Mo Williams pulling one out of the playbook of the probing Steve Nash. Foul on Paul. Shaquille O'Neal in his 15th All-Star appearances, 2nd all-time to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, followed by Jerry West, Karl Malone, and Michael Jordan.
In some of those appearances, Shaq was hurt and didn't actually participate, but was voted on. One of the great all-time dominant big men. You could obviously one across from us in Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaquille O'Neal.
A member of 4 NBA championship teams, 3 with the Lakers and the one with Miami, and a 2-time All-Star game MVP.
And the young man Dwight Howard at the free throw line, working with one of the all-time great players, Patrick Ewing, down in Orlando.
Oh, beautifully done as Paul went between the legs to set it up for O'Neal.
Shaq knows how to have fun.
Allen's pass broken up. Bryant slipping it to O'Neal.
Oh, yes.
And that's kicked out of bounds by Howard.
Look at Phil Jackson and Frank Hamlin over on that bench on the West bench, just laughing. Kurt Rambis, Brian Shaw. Look at Kurt Rambis. Say, Shaq, get back into that triangle into the low post.
Now Tim Duncan sits down. Chauncey Billups back on the floor. So Bryant, Billups, and Paul, along with Shaq and Stoudemire. Shot clock down to 5. They double up on Shaq, and he is right inside. He had the mismatch, yes.
Yeah. Danny thought about fouling, but he was like, I don't know if I can get my arms around Shaq.
And Shaquille O'Neal with his 4th dunk of the game. He now has 12 points, 6 of 7 overall.
Kobe Bryant to Shaquille O'Neal. We saw this many a times in Los Angeles, and Danny Granger thought about fouling him, trying to wrap him up, but I don't think that would have done him any good, Coach.
No, well, you can see again with the East, they're just so undersized that, you know, Rashard Lewis out there against Shaq, he's going to have to make 3-point shots. And as Phil Jackson said, he's encouraging the East to continue to fire from out there. And again, the difference in points in the paint, I mean, 66 points in the paint for the West, 38 for the, so plus 28. And on top of that, the West have plus 9 on fast break. So you got a bigger lineup out there. You're winning the paint, and you're also getting out on the fast break and are plus 9. So right now, the West is having their way.
West now over the foul limit by virtue of that foul by O'Neal. Tony Parker of the Spurs back on the floor. Well, Williams saying, who has Billups? Chauncey working his way into the corner wide open, and he still is, as Bryant takes to the rim. And again, it is O'Neal doing some push-ups.
We don't want him to tear the basket down here. Not today. He did that once in here in Phoenix a long time ago when he was playing with the Magic.
Nice move by Ray Allen. Yeah, that was a delightful day. We were doing the national telecast, and it was much work for sideline reporters as again O'Neal is able to stuff to kill the time, allowing the maintenance crew here to get a new backboard and rim.
It wasn't Shaq-proof. Now they're all Shaq-proof. So we think.
Well, he pulled it down. The stanchion came down. Remember, Marv, he didn't tear down the backboard. The backboard was still intact. The basket just collapsed. I mean, the backboard was actually sitting down on the floor.
Shaq now 8 of 9, 16 points, and 6 of those shots have been dunks. Pierce misfired on a 3, kept alive by Allen. On the back tap, Mo Williams. Tried the look-away pass, deflected out of bounds. Last touch by the West.
Well, you talk about Chris Paul, the true point guard, leading, telling them we want to be up by 10. Now they're up by 20.
And this is the biggest lead of the night. Coming up on a minute and a half remaining in the third. A long three-point attempt from Joe Johnson, rebounded by Tony Parker. The West 17 of 22 from the field here in the third, as Billups goes wide on that one.
You know, you see Joe Johnson, who's had such a great year for the Atlanta Hawks, who are playing very, very well. You know, Mark, he has not played well in this building since he has gone to Atlanta. I don't know if he's, you know, comes in here and greater expectations or whatever, but even as a member of the Hawks today, he's not shot the ball well, and I don't know if he puts a lot of pressure on himself to perform better here because he was once here a member of this team.
Here's Shaq getting inside, and he is fouled, so Shaq will head to the line. Joe Johnson has missed on his 3 shot attempts. Originally a first-round pick of the Celtics, and following his days with Boston, acquired by Phoenix, spent 4 years with the Suns, and then traded to the Hawks in the deal involving Boris Diaw, a couple of draft picks, and he has been thriving in Atlanta. Well, you can vote for the game that you want to see on NBA TV. Special fan night voting extends through tonight's All-Star game, and results will be announced on a special episode of Inside the NBA on NBA TV following the NBA All-Star game. There's a brick thrown up by.
Oh, that's a shocker.
And Wednesday on ESPN, it's Orlando at New Orleans, followed by the Lakers at Golden State. Next Sunday on ABC, the Celtics and the Suns from Phoenix. And Shaq will head back to the line.
You know, Marv, just to follow a bit of that Joe Johnson story, this week on one of the radios here in Phoenix, Robert Sarver, who owns the Phoenix Suns, basically came out and said, you know, I made a mistake. We should have re-signed Joe Johnson the year before he became that free agent. They had a chance to sign him to a $50 million deal. Decided to let him become a free agent, and he decided then to go on to Atlanta. There's Robert Sarver. He ended up signing a 5-year, $70 million deal in Atlanta, and how that Atlanta team now, he went through some lean times, Marl, like you talked about, but that's a very young and exciting team that took the Boston Celtics to 7 games last year in the first round of the playoffs.
Shaq now 1 of 4 at the line. Pierce lost it. Recovered by Lewis. Shaq has to be considered in the running for MVP honors the way things are going here.
Well, he's in the running, especially he's out here guarding point guards the last 3 or 4 possessions.
Well, we see that often where, you know, a guy plays on his home court and guys really work to get him the ball. We've seen it through the years where the local guys have been the MVPs.
There's Parker rimming out on the 3, and it's Shaq showing the lively legs. It was not thought that he would get as many minutes. Parker again from downtown, but Shaq missed his first field goal attempt, but since then he's hit 8 in a row as his third quarter comes to a close. The Wesh from CNN and Eva Longoria Parker. Or Reggie and Doug, as you know her, Mrs. Solis from Desperate Housewives.
Gabrielle?
Yes.
Wait a minute. Both of you guys know that. See, I did not know that.
That's one of my favorite shows. I do not miss it.
Okay. Who knew?
Reggie just not on the cutting edge here in terms of important cultural events.
Wow.
Well, you can see that zone defense that Phil Jackson talked about playing. That's basically what they're doing. Anytime that ball goes to the wing, they just load up the floor. It's a zone, no place really to go. It's Brandon Roy takes his eye off the ball, and the third quarter, Marv, only 2 turnovers for the West.
Well, Williams off the mark, but Rashard Lewis is right there. Both teams have made changes. Pau Gasol is back along with Dirk Nowitzki, Brandon Roy, Phillips, and Parker in the backcourt.
See if the East, they're going to switch everything, and they can try to make a little spurt here, get back in this game.
Nowitzki. Rashard Lewis has returned. Mo Williams at the point. Here's Allen. So Ray Allen on the reverse. He has 8 points.
Well, Ray Allen's having a terrific year, a much more efficient year than he had last year. He even talked about that. His shooting is up. His three-point shooting, his free throw shooting, second in the NBA. He said his goal every year, Reggie, and you would appreciate this as a shooter, 50% from the field as Tony Parker knocks down a jumper, but 50% from the field, 40% from 3, and 90% from the free throw line. He never has done that in his career, but is very close this year to making that happen.
Pierce able to drill it, and Ray and Reggie are the only 2 players in NBA history to hit 2,000 plus three-pointers. Ray with 2,100. Reggie apparently slipped one in earlier. 2,560, I guess, including the 2 you hit tonight.
I guess so.
Yeah. They were almost teammates, too.
Oh, see, that's how rumors get started, Coach.
They were almost teammates.
That's how rumors get started, Coach.
Doc Rivers had checked you out on a couple of occasions, although Danny Ainge disputed it. He said, no, he's really talking about your sister, Cheryl.
Yes, we look alike.
Here's the lob. Oh, Brandon Roy from Tony Parker.
You know, he's a sneaky leaper.
Yes, he is.
You know, when you watch him, you don't think he gets up that high, and then all of a sudden you see him finishing against these bigger players.
Williams. Oh, Williams. Dead on with that shot. 116-99. The West on top. Parker trying to go behind the back, and it's last touched by Lewis. Let's go to Craig.
Well, with me is Phoenix Suns season ticket holder, Arizona center John McCain with his wife Cindy. And who's your favorite All-Star out there, and what's impressed you in the game so far?
So far, it's got to be Shaq. I think he's trying to prove to everybody that he's still the MVP. Missed his first shot, and then I think made the next 8. Nobody's stopping him.
You're doing a good job. You could be our stat man. Terry Porter apparently was informed tonight that he will not be the coach of the Phoenix Suns tomorrow. They're going to replace him. When Senator Obama, now President Obama, said that he wanted to change, I don't think he was talking about your Phoenix Suns. What's happened to this proud franchise?
Well, I think they're lacking in the chemistry, but we wish Terry Porter well. He's a great guy, and we wish him. He's a great coach. We wish him well.
All right, thanks a lot. Now that you have more time in your hands, with all due respect, maybe you can help break the ship to the Phoenix Suns.
Maybe so, but I don't know if they need help from a politician.
Thanks a lot. Back to you, Marv.
Well put.
He must be listening to your telecast, Marv, throwing out the stats that you just had spoke of.
Apparently he's keeping score.
Well, we switch him and Paul out. Paul, why don't you go over there and sit next to Cindy and Eva and have the senator come on over here.
Politicians are always polling numbers. Electoral college, popular vote, all the numbers.
Reggie lashing out our statistician Paul Evans, who was in tears, depressed. Nowitzki able to knock it down. The West now leads 118 to 99. 4 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. Pretty pass.
Yes.
Devin Harris from Mo Williams.
Marv, you see Devin Harris on a nightly basis. What has impressed you the most about Devin Harris this year?
The dazzling speed with the ball. The way he and Vince Carter have played together so effectively as Parker is able to hit. And the consistency of Harris. Just had perhaps a one off period when he was battling injuries, but he's had a tremendous year.
Finishing? These guys had a lot of fun this summer over in Beijing, bringing home the gold medal, getting those nice rings at halftime.
Those are beautiful rings.
LeBron spinning his way. That'll count at a foul.
How about that degree of difficulty?
I think Mike Brown's probably thinking, all right, we've got 7:36 left. I'm going to put LeBron James in and see if we can make a quick run. Nice little pearl move in the lane, using the glass.
And if you put that to music, it'd be like a ballet dancer. Look at that footwork there, just going around, the body control, off the glass. Just a beautiful play by LeBron James.
Foul committed by David West. 3-point play, so the East now down 120, 104. Parker being played by Harris. Gasol sets the screen.
Why does Dwight Howard want to take out all these little guys out on the perimeter? A while ago, Kobe hit him for a 3.
And West able to stuff. And here's Harris spinning and then gets it down low. Foul is called as Wade took the hit. But Dwayne will go to the line. Foul is on Gasol. Let's check in with Craig Sager, who has worked his way onto the West bench. Craig.
Well, Shaq, you actually turned this game around when you went in there. You made 8 of your 9 shots, 17 points, dribbling between your legs, give and goes. Where are you getting all the energy today?
I had to admit to my man Cove and B. Shaw, felt like flashbacks. Every time I go down, Cove tell me, go to work. So I felt like, 99 to 02? Yeah, felt like back then. Yeah, 03, 04.
You guys really haven't spent a lot of time since the team was broken up. Are you enjoying being Kobe's teammate again and making friendship, renewing your friendship?
You know, we never had a last friendship. Never had that, you know. Respect is there. You know, he has beautiful daughters. I got beautiful kids. Every time we see each other, you know, it's friendly and all that. Everything was done purposely.
There could be a rivalry today, though. One of you two could be running for MVP. Who should get it?
I'm just glad to be here, brother. Glad to be here at the tender age of 37. I can remember last year when I wasn't here, and, you know, people said I was done. So I'm just happy to be here.
Thanks a lot. That was a terrific dance you did during intros.
Thank you. That was freestyle off the top. My new name is the Big Jabberwocky.
Big Cactus and the Big Jabberwockies. Back to you, Mark.
Well, all is peaceful now if you listen to Shaquille O'Neal, although yesterday in an interview with Craig Sager, both admitted, yes, we had our ups and downs. 108 lead, just under 6 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. Marv Albert, Reggie Miller, Doug Collins, David Aldridge, and Craig Sager working the sidelines for this 58th NBA All-Star game. Kobe Bryant. So Kobe now has 25. He's 11 of 20. Got off to the fast start. In fact, attempted 10 shots in that first quarter.
Game just comes easy to Kobe. It doesn't matter if this is an all-star game, a pickup game, or he's playing for the Lakers. There's some players where the game just comes easy to them.
Well, he's got great talent, obviously, and he's strong-willed, but he's also the most fundamentally sound player in the game right now, too.
And here's Bryant getting it over the outstretched arm of Dwight Howard. Wade has to give it back. Johnson putting a move on Roy is stripped. Here's Bryant with James back, and Bryant shoots for three. LeBron with the rebound. And LeBron looks to go all the way, switching hands in midair, but came up short. Paul, beautiful skip dribble.
You talk about the game looking easy. You know, he had a quote the other day. He said, you know, the NBA game is easier for him than the college game because of the three-point line and how much more spacing you have, and he can get to his place easier on the floor. I thought that was an interesting comment.
And nice numbers for Chris Paul. 10 points, 10 assists. Devin Harris way off. Howard able to keep it alive, so Dwight Howard has 11.
Let's see if the East can utilize that three-point line. A little bit over 4 minutes left in this game.
They're 1 for 11 in the second half.
Another assist for Paul, setting it up for Gasol. Kobe Bryant making a late run to capture the MVP award.
See the zone once again, just loading up the floor, forcing them to either drive and take a mid-range shot or take that long three. No place to go in that paint. And here's Dwight Howard showing Stan Van Gundy that Patrick Ewing is working on his range. So pick and pop now for the Orlando Magic.
He was looking for three-point territory, but had the foot on the line. David West able to slam it.
When Dwight Howard starts taking that shot, they will be one and done in the playoffs.
Well, it's going to be tough for them without Jameer Nelson. He's been such a big part of that team. We'll see whether he can come back or not this year. Joe Johnson's still looking for that first hoop, if I'm not mistaken. There's Jameer Nelson. What a tragic thing for that young guy to get injured. He's such a big part of this team, this Orlando Magic.
Gasol with the follow. Jameer Nelson out with that shoulder injury, dislocated shoulder.
Well, that's one of those injuries too, as you see Devin Harris on that backside where, you know, you might rehab it, but you jerk it the wrong way and it goes right back out of joint, and you're right back and then needs surgery. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does.
Just under 3 minutes to play, 136-114. The West with the lead as Bryant backs it up on Howard, looks to go through him and lost it. Howard got the hand out and took the dribble away.
Now he wants to take Kobe.
Try to go to the crossover. That did not work well.
When good things go bad right there for Dwight Howard. Did he really think he was going to cross over?
Said he hopes to have 100,000 people at that game.
Wow. Capacity will be in that area. Stoudemire, and rebounded by James. Talking about the stats, Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal as LeBron comes up short. How about Chris Paul with 12 assists and adds to the point total? He has 12 points, 12 assists, and only 1 turnover.
But Tony Parker with the lob to Chris Paul. Here is Dwayne Wade with a long three. That's the way he started the game now. But we've seen Chris Paul now at the end of a lob, and we've seen him in the post on a give and go with Shaquille O'Neal. So he's getting all kinds of plays and assists here today.
Parker. Rebound comes to Howard. And that pass broken up by Roy. Let's go over to David Aldridge. David.
Well, Terrell Owens, next year, the All-Star game in your hometown, in your new stadium. What do you think?
Oh, man, it's going to be exciting. 100,000 plus seats in there. It's going to be really wild.
You know, this game this year, the West is dominating, but obviously you're a West guy now. Where are your loyalties here?
I'm just a fan of basketball. You know, I love basketball. I got a lot of friends, LeBron, Kobe, Shaq. So anytime I can come out and get the full experience of being a fan, then I'm here.
There you go. Back to you, Marv. Thanks very much.
I was Terrell Owens wearing those 3D glasses that they used to wear in theaters for movies, and now obviously 3D being shown on an experimental basis for television.
He likes to see things in, you know, three-dimensional.
Differently.
What's wrong with that?
Watching what is happening in front of him in 3D.
T.O. wouldn't be T.O. T.O. wouldn't be T.O. Marvelous.
We're coming up on the final minute of play. The West with a 138-117 lead. Able to break things open in the second quarter. They had that 19-0 run. The East did get back into it. Here's Roy with the setup for Stoudemire. Ernie Johnson and Eva Longoria discussing Ernie's script.
What is EJ doing?
Yeah, look at EJ.
All right, here's Paul, and he blew it on the breakaway, but no one else in sight, so he lays it home. Eva's saying, no, I don't think you should go with that opening line. That won't work. But you can make things better. That third paragraph I thought was a little weak. And here's Stoudemire finishing it off. Amari Stoudemire with 17 points. Kobe Bryant, the high man, with 27. Well, we said earlier they were playing defense. What's going on here? Off the backboard, and Brandon Roy puts it down.
Well, it's interesting. The other night, Sean Marion's last field goal for the Miami Heat before he got traded was a dunk that beat the Chicago Bulls. Amari Stoudemire gets a dunk here. A lot of speculation. Will his last field goal in this arena be for the Phoenix Suns, be a slam dunk? We'll have to watch over the next few days.
Well, this is the guy who's put his hat into the slam dunk competition for next year. Giving everyone a little preview.
Everyone stepping aside, the crowd urging LeBron to stuff. And he comes through with the request as time has run out, and the West has defeated the East.